Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button right out of the gate. It really helps the channel out a lot. So hit the like button right now. Okay, thank you very much. And also, if you could share the video, that would be awesome. Today's video is going to be going over the cell tower data, just all in one string. You can kind of animate it on the screen so you can see what's going on. Now, I created my own legend off to the right using the legend that's in the documents. And as you can see, I made it red for Stephan Stern's. They had it kind of this weird pink color, even though on the screen it's red. So it got a little bit confusing. So apparently Stephan Stern's on this weekend is driving around in Stephan Stern's dad's vehicle. And he apparently, based on the documents, is using his dad's phone, which is sort of interesting in terms of, thinking of this case as a premeditated killing. Because why was he driving his dad's car and using his dad's phone? So who knows if it's premeditated or not. The planning afterwards doesn't seem that great, although you could tell that he did think through some of the elements by leaving his cell phone at home twice during relevant motions, but then he would take it with him intentionally to show he's in a certain area for alibi purposes. Now, interestingly, though, you can see the phone is still at home using this cell tower data during certain times, specifically when in the morning when he's driving around with Maddie propped up in the vehicle, and then it's only after he came back home. He got home at 10:16 is when his phone turned on at the residence again, but prior to that, there was only sightings of the vehicle on the surveillance cameras at different establishments. So as you can see right here on the screen, the green house, it's kind of small here. That's right up there. That's actually the grandmother's house where the party was. All right, and the pink or purple here, I guess you could call it, is Maddie's cell phone. So you can see all these towers are pointing right. See, even that angle there includes that house. And let's just start playing it right now. And then here's right where the party was. That cell tower is pinging right at the property. Here's another one. So this is where the party was. And you can see the vehicle is moving now. It's driving down, and it looks like it's heading on the highway right there, and it's going in this direction. It could even be up on this highway right there. But I think it's that lower one. And it's making its way home. And if you look at it, it's 8:01. Now it's 8:02. And this is Stephan Stern's at that same moment. You can see right over here, if we just pause it for a second, Stephan Stern's vehicle is moving down Highway 4 heading towards the apartment. And you can see over here, Maddie's cell phone is stopped for a bit. It almost seems like they went over to Jennifer's sister or Maddie's aunt's house for a little bit of time. You can see it's right around in this area here. Right there. And see, notice how Stephan Stern's vehicle is moving up the highway, getting closer to that cell tower, driving up in this direction. And right now it is 8:14, 8:15, and notice over here, Maddie's phone is still staying in that relative location, and the apartment's over here. And now it's 8:17, he's moving up and around. He's heading east now, and now it looks like Maddie's phone is starting to move west towards the apartment at 8:19. And here comes Stephan Stern's. He's making his way towards Kissimmee. Maddie's phone is still relatively in that position, but it did add that extra ring there, so it seemed like there was some movement there. But it's interesting how it seems like there's a massive delay in Maddie's arrival at home. She gets home at around 8:30, and should have been home a lot earlier, so she must have stopped. But it seems like she communicated with Stephan Stern, and he pauses too, wanting to make sure that the aunt had taken off before he got there. So they're both home at around, let's go back a little bit. So this is 8:30. Let's just play this part again here. And here comes Stephan Stern's. So Maddie's home about like 8:31, 8:32, and then Stephan Stern's is home by 8:41. So just 10 minutes after she got home. And that's 10:05, and they're at home. Maddie and Stephan Stern's are at home. Now, if you look over here, this is Jennifer's vehicle in blue. Up in the upper right, you can see the blue next to Jennifer. Now, she's headed back towards the Kissimmee area and home. And she makes it home right when you're supposed to. The speed and travel, she goes directly home. You can see as the cell towers ping, she's going in this direction. Making your way to the east. And then you can see, based on the ping, she's kind of over in this general area here. They get more specific here in a minute. So she's now making her way south, down on, looks like John Young Parkway, and then maybe took this turn right there and is heading right to the house. And she gets home at approximately, looks like 10:30, right around that time. Now they're all home right now. Now this is 8:10 in the morning. Stephan Stern leaves his cell phone at home, and now he's only seen on camera moving up. So 8:10, he's already driven up towards the McDonald's, and he's turning around and coming back. And then 8:11, he's heading back south again towards the house. And we know at 8:22, he's at home, because at 8:19, he's seen coming through the front gate. So he comes through the front gate, and he's seen on camera, and Maddie's body's propped up in the vehicle. He's seen at 7:36 with Maddie's body propped up in the vehicle while he's dumping the backpack, and which has the laptop in it inside of a plastic bag and a white Croc shoe, into the garbage can. They see Maddie propped up. Then at 7:50, they also see him leaving the complex. That's why he's up by McDonald's in that area. And her body's also propped up there. And then he comes back at 8:19, and that's what we're looking at right now. At 8:22, he's in the complex, and her body was seen propped up at that time. We also know that he leaves at 8:31 with her body visibly propped up. So this is 8:39. He's already left, and that, now look at this. He's back up in this area, visually seen on camera, heading north. 8:48, 8:50, 8:58. Now he heads east over here for some reason. We don't know what he's doing over here because Maddie's propped up, but he may have already pushed her over because he doesn't want to be seen in the, have her seen in the vehicle at this point, because he's supposed to have dropped her off. So he may have had her bent over a little bit so she's not quite as visible in the vehicle. Heading north, then back south a little bit, and then it should be heading east again. And here's back at home. That was right there. That was showing that at this time, it's 9:18. It looks like Jennifer is still at the home, but remember, she's going to be heading out for her doctor's appointment soon. She's awake, though, at the house. And remember, Stephan Stern's phone is at the house, and Maddie's phone is at the house. So again, down here, 9:33, 9:34, Jennifer's phone is still pinging right down at the house, and this is where Stephan Stern's is. All right, now it appears that Jennifer is leaving the apartment complex because it's not dark blue at this point. 9:42, and then at 9:44, the vehicle's spotted up in this area. And this is the hotel where Stephan Stern went up to the top floor, opened up the trunk, then moved Maddie from the front passenger seat into the trunk of the vehicle. So this is 9:44, and it looks like Jennifer may be still at home and is now leaving. Okay, now she's leaving. See this ping here? She's driving up north to her doctor's appointment. And right here is where the doctor's appointment was, not too far from her house. See where the circle is? It's right inside that. I showed that on another show. But Stephan Stern is now heading back home, and at this moment, he passes the same intersection and is there for 2 minutes. There is a traffic light there, so I imagine while Jennifer is at her doctor's appointment, Stephan Stern was stopped at a stop sign outside, or stop light outside of the hospital. And that's why it pings there for 2 minutes. Now, people will say, oh, they were giving something, they were talking. So this right here shows the ring inside of which Jennifer, the hospital is and where she's at. It's right there. And now at 10:46, I think if we go back a little bit to about like 10:16, notice right here, this is where Jennifer is at the hospital, and right now at 10:16, his phone turns on at the house because he just got home. And he just didn't want to take it with him when he was putting Maddie's body in the trunk, etc. He just didn't realize there were 17 million cameras that were going to be filming him driving around. So he's there from 10:16 to 10:44. It pings right there. And also, between that same time period, Jennifer is at her doctor's appointment. And then it seems like Jennifer perhaps goes over to a mall that's a little bit over in this side, over here. And Stephan Stern is at home, but it appears that, and look at that, Maddie's phone turned on at home. Let's go back there just for a second. I'll play this all uninterrupted at the end so you can just watch it. All right, so 10:44. And look at right there, Maddie's phone turns on at 10:55, or at least it connects to a tower. And Stephan Stern is leaving now. And it looks like Jennifer's still near her doctor's appointment. But Stephan Stern is heading north. And he passes right by where she would be. And then she heads home and heads kind of an easterly direction. Don't know if she's going anywhere. But right now, Maddie's phone is pinging at home at 11:11. And Stephan Stern is still up north. He goes to the vape shop, E-Smoke. So let's go back to that one frame here. Yeah, so E-Smoker Online Vape Shop. So that's where his phone is pinging at right now, and it's mentioned in the documents. Jennifer, though, is almost home at this point. And right now, Maddie's phone is pinging back at the property. The red symbols the home, the apartment. And he's still up in this area, and at this point, Jennifer is at home at 11:28. I think if we go back even a little bit more, it looks like 11:27 she's at home. So Stephan Stern is still up there. So there is a point where she says when she got home, you know, they spoke or he was there, but I don't know if that means that he was there before she got home, but he wasn't. And there's no strategic advantage. There's a lot of stuff that people complain about in this case, like when Jennifer jumps in and says, oh, she had on black shorts. What advantage did she gain by saying that? If she knew that Maddie was dead and already buried, why would it matter that, you know, what she was wearing or anything? Her body was supposedly hidden at that point. So it wouldn't be like, oh, they're going to be looking for the wrong person. You think if they found her and there's jeans on, but because Jennifer said that they were black shorts, they would go, oh, that's not her. I mean, that's ridiculous, everybody. Okay, so this is 11:27. Jennifer's at home, and Stephan Stern is still way up here. Yeah, even pinging up in this area. And he's still way up there. Maddie's phone pings at 11:40. 11:41, still pinging at the home. Stephan Stern is heading back south. Maddie's phone still pinging down here. And he's heading south. And he'll be arriving at home soon. 11:46, still heading south. 11:47, south. 11:48, still heading south. 11:49. Now it's 11:57 to 12:47. He's at home. And look at Jennifer's phone is pinging at home. The purple line is Maddie's phone pinging at home during that entire hour. And remember, at 10:16 he got home and he turned his phone back on, and that's when he called Jennifer on the phone and said, hey, I tried to take her to McDonald's, but she didn't want to go. And then she probably said, well, hey, I'm at a doctor's appointment. I'll talk to you when I get home. And then when she got home, she said, what happened? And then he explained how she didn't want to go to McDonald's, etc. And that was during this time frame between 11:57 and 12:47. Right, now this is when Stephan Stern takes off. So imagine this. The entire time he's talking with Jennifer, Madeline's body's still out in the trunk in his vehicle at the complex. So after talking to her for about an hour, he then takes off at 12:49. And he heads east. He's on 192 and 17, making his way down. And he makes his way through St. Cloud here. And then we know that he makes his way to Hickory Tree Road and placed their body in a row of bamboo trees after getting a flat tire, and then he walked through an open fence. Then he starts heading back. It's now 2:12. If we can go back a little bit, let me go back to this area really quick, and we'll just show it when he gets down here. So when it makes it down into the area where he's about to head south onto Old Hickory Tree Road that turns into, you can get to Hickory Tree Road. It's around 116. All right. Then he starts coming back. You see him in the same area at 2:11. So that means he's probably at the crime scene for about 30 minutes because there's about 10-minute travel time from that area to the crime scene. And now he's heading up north again and then west to the property. But you notice this. Let me show you this. This is something you need to look at. Notice the red line right there. Stephan Stern's phone is at home the entire time he's on this route right here. The entire time he's on this. So notice how it's pinging. It's left on. I think he wants it on purpose. So again, he heads over here and he is conscious enough about what he's doing to, turn his phone on and leave it at home so that it's pinging there. He just didn't realize, again, that there's like 20-something cameras on the route that was filming him. So here he is heading back, and I think he makes it back home by 41 or so. Let's see. Right, so he's right there. He's not quite home yet. It's 12:43. And look at Jennifer's already left the house to go pick up Maddie. She usually leaves at 12:30. She waited a bit, but Stephan Stern's didn't show up, and his phone was at home, so she just decided to take off. She hadn't heard from him, and I'm sure the phone wasn't just sitting out in plain sight, that he had the phone at home, and he probably hid it somewhere and turned off the ringer. And as you can see, Stearns makes it home at 2:46. Jennifer's heading up towards the school, and she makes it into the school area at around 2:55. And right around this time at 3:25, Stephan Stern is still at home. Still home at 3:31. And he's still home between 3:42 and 4:13. And then 4:28 to 4:38, she's up in this area, and she's over at her mother's workplace at an insurance company, right in this area. That's what this represents, this red building here. And this is the school right here, this red symbol. So as you can see, Jennifer's phone's pinging there, and look at Maddie's phone is pinging there, which verifies that she took Maddie's phone with her to give to her after school. As she said in the documents that when Maddie would leave her phone at home, she would take it to her after school. So that's what she's doing right here. And you can see her phone is pinging right next to the office. It's a really solid line right inside there. I think this is when she said she first went to the office after Maddie didn't come out of the school. She went to her mother's office, and her mother said, well, she wouldn't be here by now if she did walk here. So then she went and parked on a street watching and waiting for her, but when she didn't pass, she realized that's when she should be at her mother's office, so drove back to the mother's office, and that's all during this time frame right here. And her mother said, no, she's still not here, and that's when she started getting nervous. And look, she's right there. She's really just at the office. Now Stephan Stern has been called, and he's heading up towards the office. And you can see he's about right in this area. And then at almost 5 o'clock, he's in this area and makes it up to the office at about, and look at right there at 5:01, Maddie's phone is on. That's probably when she handed it to her family members and they were trying to go through the phone. Stephan Stern isn't quite there yet. Now he's almost there. He's heading north towards the office. As you can see, the rings getting further out. And right now he is at the office, and then between 5:03 and 6:52, they're in the same area, and Maddie's phone, Jennifer's phone, and Stephan Stern's phone all ping in the area. And they just show you whenever there's a ping. So when you see something like this cell tower can also reach right at the edge of the office. The office is right there. So it might ping as well, even if he's still at the office. Okay, and it looks like they're almost all at the office at this point at 9:02. And then Jennifer's phone pings there, also consistent with the office. Then now it appears at 9:03, they're kind of heading out in this direction a little bit, some movement going on. Could also just be that these cell towers also encompass, but if you look at that one, this cell tower wasn't reaching there, so it looks like they may have even driven back over in this area. And this is when, remember when Stephan Stern was showing the police where he dropped her off? So that's all during this time frame. But see, they're still way up here at 9:28. And then 9:31. 9:44. And now it appears they're heading home. And there you go. That is Stephan Stern's, Maddie, and Jennifer's cell phones are all pinging, heading south. I'm a little bit interested why they didn't take Madeline's phone that first night. But anyways, they're heading home, and they all make it home by, I think it's, let's see, it's now 9:54, and they're all home pretty much right around this time at 9:55. So everybody made it home at that point. So now I'm going to play this. So if you have any questions, put the questions in the comments section. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know what you think you're seeing here. To me, the information seems to corroborate what Jennifer Soto says quite accurately. You know, it's not 100%, you know, like within 10 or 15 minutes of something she says is the actual time that's verified on the cell phone data. Stephan Stern is the one whose information doesn't match specifically what he said. Hers does. It appears she really did go to the doctor's appointment, and some of the statements like when she got home, he was there and they talked. Well, it sounds like he got home after her doctor's appointment. So she gets home from the doctor's appointment, then he shows up. But it's consistent with how she worded things, that he got home at 10:16 and then called her, but then he headed up north again. Then she heads home after her doctor's appointment, but he took his phone with him that time because he wants it to kind of ping up in there and make it seem like he's just doing regular things. I mean, what killer goes to a vape shop, That doesn't make any sense. But you might ask yourself this. Well, he has to make it seem, I was about to say, what killer would drive around, go to a vape shop knowing that their child's missing. But at this point, he knows the child isn't missing. He knows Maddie isn't missing. He knows that he killed her, so he's just putting up the ruse to make it seem like he's doing ho-hum, mundane things during the time that Maddie's actually dead, but she hasn't been observed missing yet, and he can't give away that fact. So that's what he's doing there. And I'll put right at the end here a very sped up version of this so you can just kind of see the motion. I'll make it like in a 2-minute period where you see all of the pings just zipping by in an animated form. So here is that clip right now. Well, there you have it. Thank you all very much for watching. Leave a comment in the comment section what you learned from this ping data or any of your thoughts that you might have on that. I would really appreciate it. And one last time, hit that like button. So thank you all very much for watching. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.